give me this outrageous look like I came from a different planet. They always ask me the same questions. How did you get here? Are your family the only black family living in Portland? Now those questions are from black folks. And what made you decide to come here? These are all reasonable questions. But you know what, my fellow Toastmasters and guests? I'm tired of those questions. Over the next few minutes, I want to talk about my journey from the Pacific Northwest to the South. As some of you may know, I participated in this life-changing college tour back when I was in high school. In the tour, we visited prestigious schools and historical sites in Virginia and North Carolina. During that tour, I discovered more history about past events. For example, the Greensboro Four. The four freshman African-American male students from the North Carolina Agriculture and Technical State University, known as A&T, marched to a local all-white cafe and sat at the lunch counter during the Civil Rights Movement. After hearing that story, I had the opportunity to meet one of those four students, the late Franklin McCain. I also discovered the proximity of cities on this side of the country. If you want to drive from Chapel Hill to DC, it's approximately 4 to 5 hours. And from DC to Baltimore, 45 minutes. Whereas in Portland, if you want to go down to Los Angeles, it's 18 plus hours, depending on traffic. After the trip, I had to finalize my list of schools. And I decided to continue my education in Virginia. I remember the excitement and nervousness the first day of freshman week. That night in my dorm, we had a meeting and we learned the Hampton introduction, where students introduce themselves by saying their name, classification, and major, and also where they're from. And as all my peers were saying their introduction, I couldn't help but think about how weird these guys were, because I didn't know anyone. And then when it was my turn, I heard pure silence. I said my name, my major, and where I was from. My neighbor, who is my best friend now, said, "Oh my gosh, I have never met anyone from Portland, Oregon." And I said, "I've never met anyone from Columbus, Ohio." Someone else said, "There are black people in Portland?" And someone else said, "Hold up, where's Oregon?" Come on, guys. So for 4 years, I had to go through the same reaction from people. It was annoying and tedious. But I got used to it over time. After graduation, I moved back to the West for several months. At the time, I was in a long-distance relationship with my girlfriend. In any typical long-distance relationship, the inevitable topic of moving to the same location will come up in a conversation frequently. So one day, I asked my girlfriend, I said, "Come move to Portland." You know what she told me, Bob? She said, "No, I'm not moving. I have this paralegal certificate class to take. And I'm not getting up and just moving for anyone who I'm not married to. So come to Chapel Hill." You know what I said, Ken? I said, "No, I don't have any money. And I'm not moving without a job." So this went on for a few months. One day, I asked myself 3 simple questions. Do you love her? I said yes. Does she mean the world to you? Yes. And do you want to spend your life with her? Yes. If this is all true, you should move with or without a job. So I told her, I said, I'm going to save up my money and move to Chapel Hill, with or without a job. I came here the summer of 2014 without a job. I was renting a room from a law student for 3 months. So I knew I had to hustle and find a job so that I could stay here in Chapel Hill with her. One thing she didn't tell me was that Chapel Hill was a college town, and during the summer when the students are away, it's boring for young people like myself. With that being said, I was bored out of my mind. I thought I made a terrible decision by moving here. Eventually, I got used to it. I got a job offer, and my life was changing. I joined this amazing club called Speak Up Toastmasters. Everything was running smoothly. Now I have been here for almost 2 years, and it still feels like I arrived yesterday. Moving from my home state has been a challenge as far as feeling isolated and meeting new people. In spite of all the challenges, I can honestly say that the South has served me well with a degree, career, and most importantly, a wife. I love you, baby. I also want to clear air with this fact. The black population in Oregon is 2%. And no, that 2% is not my entire family.